And welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob with my guest co-host today, my good friend Jenn. How you doing, Jenn?
Hey, everybody. I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. So we're going to talk one of your favorite subjects today. We're talking coffee.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, because who doesn't like coffee these days? It's I think the staple of every morning in America because everyone likes caffeine and likes to get going. But I think a lot of people these days just drink shitty coffee. So I know a good friend of mine from way back in my wrestling days. His wife started a coffee company. So we're going to talk about that because I think a lot of it is sampling good coffee. And it's an experience, right? It's like wine tasting in the morning, except not wine. So
no. I mean, unless you're into that thing.
That's for nighttime.
Exactly. So our guests today are my good friend Brian and his lovely wife Gina. How you guys doing?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Good. So you guys are Throat Punch Brew. So you can find them at throatpunchbrew.com. And of course, we'll get to their handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Basically, I want to know your story. Like, how did this start? So tell us who you are and how you started this company.
So I'm Brian. I'm just the husband.
I'm Gina, and I was the one that came up with the idea of starting a coffee company. The reason behind that is because I love coffee, and shitty coffee is expensive. So might as well, make your own company.
Might as well make good coffee at a good price.
Yeah.
She told me a while, like before we started taking this thing, like the path that we wanted to go, she told me, I want to start to do something. I want to better us, like financially.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm going to sell coffee. And I was just like, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's, and then she started getting samples because roasters would send samples to the house. And there's some nasty ass coffee out there, by the way. Some of this shit is disgusting. And when she told me the name, she came up with the name, by the way, too.
Oh, that's good because that's a question coming up.
Yeah. So she came up with that. Now, as soon as she told me that, I was like, yes, because there's so much, being like with the wrestlings of you can do so much with that. You can take it to all kinds of levels and do stuff with it. So.
Yeah. And it means so many different things to different people. I think when you read it, who you are brings out what that is. Because I think a lot of people want to get punched in the throat with coffee because when you're tired in the morning, you want it. I mean, the people at my work, that's the one thing. Once we get this over with and we're going to get some samples and stuff, I'm going to take also some to my work because they're kind of coffee connoisseurs at my work. So I think it'll be fun to kind of test the waters for you guys and then maybe bring you back later on and we'll talk, in a couple of months to see where you guys are at.
Nice.
Where did Throat Punch come from though? Like where how did that idea come up in your head, Gina?
So I still work full time. I still have my 9 to 5. So every day at work, I just want to throat punch somebody every day. I have a very stressful job. So that's where it came from. Just want to throat punch somebody every day.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of people who agree with you.
You know what I remember is I bought her you guys familiar with Grunt Style, right? Yeah. They're veteran owned and operated. They do t-shirts.
Yeah.
So years back, I bought her a Grunt Style shirt and it said Throat Punch up. And we were like, man, that we could because that back then, that's when we were still trying to think of maybe we can make some t-shirts. Like what can we do to make, and that I think always stuck in her head. And, that was so catchphraseable. Like it just stood out. And then, I do have to say that when we did look into it, we found out that there was a Throat Punch coffee, which is in
UK.
In the UK.
Okay.
So we were like, oh man. But then we were looking more into it on the legal aspects and we're like, well, they're in another country. And also we can switch up the name. So
yeah. And another thing, when I actually did my research and I went online to see if they were trademarked, if there was like anything legal with her name, and there wasn't. So I'm like, okay, so nobody has this name. Mm-hmm. Not until I wanted to set up the Instagram account, I found them. I'm like, oh my God. And I had already like applied for my tax ID under that name.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I had to change it to Throat Punch Brew. Mm-hmm. So I had to actually write the IRS. I need to change it. It took months for them to change it, but it's changed now. But
of course
I couldn't find them online. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, but they're in UK, so they're different.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think brew goes along with so many things too, because how you brew your coffee, there's so many different ways. Me and Jen were talking before we got on about, those are some of the questions that we want to ask you. For one, for me, from just a standpoint of knowing cool things, because obviously knowledge is better. And with her, she wants to know about how to do better coffee or how to do certain things. So I think that's like kind of a cool thing too. Tell us, like, what's the best thing about you having a coffee company? What is the love there? Besides of obviously just loving coffee, there's got to be something
good
behind
coffee in the morning, and the house smells good.
The house smells good. I will have to tell you, that's probably one of the big things.
And we get to taste, every day we have a different flavor. That's another
nice.
Yeah, that is good. That would be kind of a great perk.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
So, Jen, why don't you go down the line of Coffee 101 with them?
Yeah. So I was more thinking of Robb when I thought of Coffee 101, but I was just wondering if you could explain the different roasts and what they mean. We hear it from the different coffee places. There's the light roast, the blonde, the medium, the dark, the espresso. Okay. So if you could just really quickly explain what the differences are between all those.
Absolutely. So the light roast is when the coffee beans are lightly roasted. Your medium is in between, and then your dark roast, they kind of darken the beans more. And when they're darkened more, it's less caffeine because you're taking more out of the coffee bean. So the darker, the less caffeine, the lighter, the more caffeine.
I always thought it was the other way around. Oh my God.
A lot of people have that twisted.
That during this process.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I'm gonna drink this dark coffee.
Yeah.
We're just getting the taste. You're not getting all the caffeine.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. See, you do learn something new every single day.
Yes.
Because I would have went the totally different way with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drinking motor oil for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me the light stuff because I want to be jittery the whole day.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that would help. I like the flavor of the darker roast and the medium roast.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're light. We're like the light roast.
Yeah, you may convert me now that I know it has the most caffeine.
Yeah.
So what are the best regions that grow coffee beans? Like where do the best coffee beans come from?
Africa.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's another misconception. Rob and I were talking about that. Everybody thinks it's Colombia or Ethiopia or
Brazil has the highest volume. Second is Colombia, but the best one is Africa.
See?
Good to know.
Again, misconception of the media or again, what companies want to tell you. Because I mean, growing up, obviously, I probably have you by a couple of years, but I always remember those commercials. I don't know how old we're probably close to the same age, Brian, I think, but
I hit the century already.
Yeah, me too. Oh, okay. I'll be the century in a one in a couple of months.
We're the same though. We're same.
Okay. So for me, I remember commercials growing up. Everything was that Colombian brew. It was like, pardon the pun. Mm-hmm. It just punched you all the time with it. So I think that as we go further now, obviously with all these different flavors and this and this and that. It's nice to actually understand more about what you're drinking and maybe the reality behind it. Because again, the media or companies will push anything on you. It's about whatever they want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I went to your website, it was kind of interesting. And I love the names. I love the different names. Because like
we were originally so when we originally were planning this out, we were our main the people we were going for was like our niche was going to be the MMA. We're like, dude, the UFC's got millions of followers. Let's go for that. So the original, like these names to these coffees were going to be like arm bars and headlocks and roundhouse kicks and, like MMA moves. That was the original plan. And I'm so glad that we didn't stay that route and we mixed it up.
Yeah, they're great. And to me, I like it because I love a good hook. Like I like to be entertained as well. Like I Donut Care is absolutely fucking brilliant to the point where it was the first thing I saw. And I was like, that's the first thing I want to order just because. And then, of course, I went and read what it was. And for me, I was like, I'll probably like that because
it's real good.
Yeah. And I have a really I love that. I have a sweet tooth. And I think that those are would be more to that route of what I would like. So it's
that one's
cool.
actually featured. That one's featured up here at a donut shop where I Don't Care is the featured coffee at it.
See, that's so cool. Yeah. And that's
they're competing with, you guys familiar with like Pink Box, right?
Pink Box.
The donuts.
Okay. So this donut shop is competing with them, but then they also do ice cream and do some crazy stuff with shakes and donuts and stuff. So they're up there with Pink Box, like competing with that.
See, Jen, this would be the perfect time to take a bag of that coffee into that donut shop in New Bern.
Oh, yeah.
And say, hey, you guys should try this. There's a donut shop in New Bern, North Carolina, which is north of where she lives. It's like this quaint little town that's in a bunch of Nicholas Sparks books. But we were looking for a donut shop because where she lives, it's like, and what did we find? It was Krispy Kremes and
chains.
It's all the chains. Like there was no donut shops.
Like Dunkin'.
Yeah. And like for me, living in LA or living in California, there's Asian donut shops on every fucking corner.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Yeah. And if I walk in and there's no Asian people making them, I leave. I'm like, I want a good donut. And that's, I made a joke, but it's true. So there's this place that unfortunately I went and visited her not too long ago. And
why is that unfortunate?
Did you say unfortunately?
No. It was unfortunate that we were going to try to go to this donut shop, but we ended up not being able to go. But she went the weekend after that. And I had told her because it was like ice cream and donuts and all this stuff. And the donuts, they had like a bacon donut. And I was like, so I think that your coffee, that kind of thing would be great in a small town, small business.
Absolutely.
As a feature, because those are the best things. People will keep coming back and like, I want this coffee with this donut. And it becomes a staple. And I think that's where you guys can really grow is being that second coffee with a better taste. Sometimes you don't have to be number one all the time. You can, I'd rather have you be that the second choice for the nation, but great coffee and with a great taste. That's how I see it.
That's the reputation we want. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not trying to be Starbucks or anything like that. No.
No. And I think that's
don't do that.
That's a great business plan.
And the thing that makes us not Starbucks is how fresh our coffee is. So when you order online, they don't roast your coffee until the order's put in. Then they roast your beans.
Oh, wow.
That's how fresh. And it's in the turnaround is like maybe a 2-3 day shipping. Yeah. So that's how fresh our coffee is. When we do events, we order the week of the event. So we're selling fresh coffee, but we're not, it's not that stuff sitting on shelves for months at a time.
Right. Yeah.
I'm really ordering we take some pride in that.
And you should, because I think
absolutely.
Fresh anything is great. And obviously coffee there. And to me, like I said, I don't drink much coffee, but I make it for where I work. And let me tell you, there's nothing like the smell of coffee. There's not. It's a breakfast staple. It's like coffee and then whatever's being cooked in the house.
Yes.
She drinks she drinks decaf before she's drinking it right now. Before she goes to bed, she does a cup of decaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like drinking tea. Yeah.
That's because you love the taste.
Yeah.
That's about taste. It's like it's not about anything else. If you're drinking it because of that, that's why. Because it's not about the buzz. It's about the taste of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You got to ask this question, Jen, because this question is the big one is
which one?
The temperature.
That's what I was just going to. Yes. Yeah. So on that note, what, in your opinion, what's the best temperature to brew and serve coffee?
It's around, I want to say 105 and hold on, I have it here. 195 and 205. But it all depends on you, what you like. I don't know. Some people like it like scorching hot. I don't. So there you go.
My family, my daughter, Robb, everybody, they teased me about drinking coffee that melts the
cup.
Gum.
Like it's like burning your taste buds
off the roof of my roof of my mouth. Yeah.
It all depends on you.
I was telling Robb, I'm like, watch, they're gonna say cold brew, and I'm like, no.
We got a cold brew.
Have it hot. Yes. Yeah. No, I'm not. I love cold brew too. It's funny because I start my day with hot black coffee, but as the day progresses, I might want a little cream in my coffee, or I might want to drink it cold. It just depends on the day and all that. Yeah. So what do you think is the best way to brew coffee? Because speaking of cold brew, that's one popular way right now. Mm-hmm. But then there are people that use the press or percolator, the K cups. What in your opinion is the best way?
Opinion is the pour over. The pour over, but it's a little time consuming for the morning, so I don't really do it much. Maybe on the weekends. So but pour over, I think that's that in my opinion. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has, some people like French press, some people like just the espresso shots. It just depends on your preference.
Yeah. So there's no right way or wrong way. It's just however you prefer to drink it.
Yeah. Whatever.
If you have time to do a pour over, go for it.
I have had that made for me before. It is really good. It does take a little time. Yeah.
It does. Mm-hmm.
And I think with
the beauty that, sorry.
No, it's okay. Finish.
That's the beauty that with us is, say you want to order, I don't care. You have the option of how you want your grind. You can get can get it the whole beans, and then you can grind it yourself. You can get, grind it for auto drip. They do a grind for the Keurig, right? Like the Keurig cup replacements.
Yeah.
You can do that. We offer
French press, pour over. We have a variety of grinds, however you like your
that's
coffee.
Awesome.
Even espresso. If you're an espresso drinker, we have that grind. Yeah, they can grind it whatever you like.
I think it's pretty interesting too with the K cups, because, for someone like my son, who's not a huge coffee drinker, so to have that one cup of coffee that you can throw in there and take it on the road and, drink it on the way to work or have it, the first half of your day at work without having to make a full pot of coffee.
Because not everybody drinks a whole pot.
Longer.
Yeah.
Or go to a drive-through because it's convenient and get some nasty stuff.
No, seriously, at a huge price. Because if you look
really fast, if
you look at your price point, which I don't think is very expensive, a drive-through coffee, and I don't mean the fast food one. I mean a drive-through coffee that costs you $6. $5. And that's, to me, that's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, so for, and you're not drinking, people who go to those aren't drinking for a month. They're drinking for a week.
Yeah.
So you could, for what you're going to pay for a bag of yours, you could buy 2 or 3 bags of yours and make your own coffee every day, because they're only drinking one cup. Some of these people are literally getting their cup, they drink that, and then by the time they're done with it, it's, middle of morning, and then they're drinking water or, whatever they're doing the rest of their day. So I think that the price point is great, and it's something that's affordable, and you're going to stop.
Tastes good.
And you're going to stop being in a line for way too long for shitty coffee.
Wait for it. And the beauty it goes with that price point? Free shipping.
Oh yeah.
Oh. No way. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Online, everything's free shipping online. So
well, shit howdy. I'm glad you said that, because I didn't look deep into that one.
Yeah.
See, that's
I missed
good.
that too.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Yeah.
Sold. I'll be placing my order after we're done. I love your apparel too. Like the t-shirt, for other listeners, we can see each other right now, of course. Yeah. So the t-shirt that Brian has on is really cool. It caught my attention. That's the one, Robb, I think you need to get.
Yes, I think I'm going to get that one, because I love the military green. I think that's just
that's my favorite one too.
Yeah, it's just
our discount.
Yeah,
the discount be for first responders.
Oh yeah,
we offer a discount for first responders.
Yeah, there's a link. Most of first responders will be familiar with GovX, which is a website that they can go to. They set up their profile, and then they can use that for all kinds of discounts. Or you can go to our website, and you can get the link from our website to GovX to sign up. So first responders. Cool. And then we also add events that we're out here. We do free cups of coffee to all first responders. And that's,
nice.
Military, veterans, firefighters, law enforcement, school teachers. So,
that's very cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. and you're out of the lovely city of Las Vegas.
Lovely. It's hard. Let me see if I can explain this real quick. So Vegas is just known obviously for the strip and all the partying and blah, blah, blah. But off the strip, there really is a real community. The first thing everybody asks at our events, are you local? And, we're like, of course, yes. And they want to support. They're really supportive of the community out here. It's a good community, man. Everybody backs each other up, especially small business. And there's a lot of small business from farm, what are they called? The farmers markets. There's a lot of vendor events where somebody will just go get a parking lot, and then you just sign up, and there's 30 vendors in their small business. You got people from doing crafts to pastries, just all kinds of stuff. And that's it's a community out here that everybody's supporting.
That's awesome.
Y'all agree that the couple of years that I did live there, it's not what people think. It's
I've known a few people that live there.
If you live 30 minutes from the strip, you would not know you live in Vegas.
Absolutely. Right.
So it's very different than what you think. So I agree. That's cool. And I love the first responders and veterans. I think that's,
I'll spread the word here too. Where I live there's a huge military presence. There's a Marine base that's right within, I think it's not even 20 minutes from where I live. There's a lot of Marines that live in the area where I am right now. So I will, I
mean, everything they do and then everything they've been through the last couple of years, it's at least, it's our way of just showing our appreciation.
That's good because I think a lot of people aren't these days. A lot of people are shitting on a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, I will say that there's a couple of things since I'm not a coffee drinker. So if I was going to start, if you're like, hey, do you want to try one of our coffees? I've had lattes. I've drank coffee before, but not on a normal basis. What would you say I should try, or how should I drink it? Like, what's your favorite? If I asked you both, what's your favorite ways of drinking coffee?
As far as ingredients in the coffee,
like, do you drink it black, cream and sugar, that kind of thing?
So, I just drink it with creamer. I don't use any sugar.
Okay,
that's it. Just coffee and creamer. Nothing fancy.
What about you, Brian?
I do the light because it's real smooth. So our thing is there's no bitter aftertaste. And the only, we could talk about this all day, but until you actually taste it and you're like, what the hell? There's no bitter aftertaste. And that's drinking it just straight up. So what we do at events is we'll hand out samples, and when I hand a sample, I don't put nothing. I just give them straight up a little shot of our coffee. No creamer, no nothing. I go, you just try it. I don't say nothing. And then they're drinking. I'm going to just remember you're drinking that straight up. And that's how people are just amazed by this. And the actual event we just did, there was a few people that came up to our booth that, oh, what is this? And we tell them it's coffee. And no, we don't drink coffee. And I go, dude, just try it. Like, I don't drink coffee. I go, dude, trust me, just try it. And it was like
good coffee.
Got them converted. They bought a bag that day and everything. It's just the product speaks for itself.
It does. So,
That's good. And again, like we're gonna test this theory. We're gonna end up doing a thing for you guys where we're gonna buy a couple of bags and we're gonna give it to some of our listeners. We're gonna have a little thing where we'll either have people email in or Facebook it or Instagram or some kind of that. So there are definitely going to be some of our listeners that are going to be drinking your coffee. Plus Jen, because she's definitely going to get some now.
I'm sold. I'm a fan now.
Let's see. What do you think, Jen? What's your best-selling coffee? Give us your top 3.
Kiki, I do not care, and there's a battle between Slay and Squad.
So Kiki's the African.
Kiki is African.
Okay,
it's a dark, medium dark. And that's another real good one, African blend. And obviously the Donut Care, which is a light. And then for a dark, it was, what'd you say, Squad, right? Or
Slay?
Well, Squad and Slay are medium and light, but the bougie would be the dark. That would be the top.
Bougie.
Yeah.
And then for those guys that like to drink the motor oil, we go even darker with one called Extra.
I saw that one.
That's the extra dark.
And I love that the bougie is French.
Yeah.
That is just, again, makes me giggle so much. It's so awesome.
It goes together, right?
Yes, actually it does. And I love that the Colombian's Escobar.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some deep humor in a lot of those that I think if people would really, really look at, there's some great stuff. So, hey, Kitty.
He's a supervisor.
Yeah, he's a supervisor.
When you're doing an event or you're at a show with a booth, do you ever serve food with the coffee? Like, do you ever talk about how coffee pairs with certain foods?
No, not really. Do we?
No. So that's our next step. Because we are in now with the donut shop, and we have another good friend that does pastries that we met at these events. So we're looking to do that. We're still going to go through the health. We got to go through health permits and all that, because that's a whole another level, because you're serving basically food now. Yeah. But we got some things coming up. We got some next steps.
Good. Yeah. I'll look forward to seeing what that is. Because there's times when I'm drinking coffee, like later in the day, you know how we were talking about drinking different types of coffee or having different things in your coffee, depending on the day and time. I also like to have treats with my coffee.
Absolutely.
So, dipping some biscotti or, eating a muffin or something. So yeah, that's, yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, I have a really bad sweet tooth. So I think that, if I can go with the don't care with a donut or a muffin, I think that's going to be my lead in. And like you said, it's a light roast, so it has caffeine. So I can blast that in the morning.
Caffeine.
Now here's the thing. Here's a question just for me, because and like you, I fast a lot. So can I drink that in the morning with no cream and be okay?
100%.
Oh,
good question, Rob.
See, because to me, that's awesome. Because now I can be, I'll get the caffeine buzz from it. Because like I said, we were talking off air, because that 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, man, it's rough on some days, and then not being able to eat, because I usually fast from 7 at night to noon every day.
Yeah.
So you remember Slim, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's
he's one of our he's one of our ambassadors, and he does the keto. Right? The keto?
No.
The vegan.
Mm-hmm.
So he uses our coffee as his pre-workout.
Yeah.
He's out of control good shape.
Yeah.
Because being that our coffee is all natural, there's no additives or anything.
100%.
I'm going to try that. I do intermittent fasting too, but I fast for longer periods than Robb does. And I end up going to the gym later in the day and I will drink coffee before I go just for that reason. So I will drink your coffee before I go to the gym.
Yeah. See, I like that because like I drink a crap ton of water. And if I could have that first drink be something with a little bit of flavor, then it doesn't make the rest of my fasting in the morning so brutal. Cause man, by noon, I'm ready to murder people. And it'd be nice to have something with a little flavor in between. So I think that might be good.
Yeah.
Coffee is what keeps me alive.
That's our slogan, the antidote for civilization.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
Yes. And talk about the truth.
Yes.
It's what keeps people from literally murdering people.
So punching someone in the throat is the antidote for civilization. That's how you gotta look at that, right?
That you know what? You're correct. Both ways. Whether you're doing it with coffee or doing it with your fist, it is definitely the antidote. Because I kind of agree with you, Gina. There's days at work where, man, if you didn't get fired, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this question that we came up with our show notes. I thought it was pretty brilliant. It's, what do you like most about drinking coffee? The ritual, the hot mug in your hand, the smell, the experience. Like, what would you say is your favorite thing about drinking coffee? Obviously the buzz, I think everyone likes because that is what a lot of people are searching for. But I think once you get to someone like you, where you're making coffees with flavor, it's not just about that anymore. Like you're selling or serving an experience. Every coffee has its own taste with its own experience. What is yours? Like
the ritual, the therapy. Yep. It's my therapy. It's just, oh my God. It's, I can't even explain it.
Gina. No, I'm totally with you.
This is how I
pouring
see
in
it.
The mug. Yeah.
It says on the bag.
If you read the back of our bag, this is the bag. This is our picture. On the back of the bag, what she just said is basically, and then it says how she's comparing to how I say when I drink a beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like when you pop that first beer, just like, and it actually says it right here.
That first sip. Yes.
And I think
there's an amen from the corner over here.
And there is something about that because like I said, I went and visited her not too long ago, and the first night or the first day that I was there, I remember watching her at the coffee machine, like watching it drip, and it was funny because it was like, I was like, wow, like. That's like she was like really into it.
The smell and the
smell, and it was like, and then
Uh-huh.
I remember sitting on the couch, and then she came by and she had this mug that was big. It was a big mug,
Yes.
and she wanted to sit down, so she's like, hold it. And I'm not joking. It was like lava. It was just blistering hot, and I was like, what in the fuck, like. How do you drink this shit?
Slowly and carefully.
And that's what she did. She was just sitting there, and you could see it like just every sip was this feel good moment.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And I think that is it. And you're selling experience, and there is something to that.
It's an experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is.
And I think that the more you have these flavors where it's not like going to the local place and be like, I just want a coffee, and they give you coffee.
Yeah.
It's neat. And I was reading all the different things about the flavors, because like I always like to get into that part of it. Like, what is this going to taste like, or what is this? And it was cool because I love like it's hints of this and raisin and apples and like that kind of thing. And that's cool because I think you're getting people ready for that experience. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Jenn.
Yeah.
She was
thinking about the coffee.
There was some,
yeah, exactly. She was
got me thinking about going to make some coffee.
Yeah. She was like,
having an experience.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been in business?
We launched last May.
So,
wow. Okay.
Almost on a year almost.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And are you have you seen your growth?
A little bit, yeah. It's hard, but it's slowly growing. So
yeah, I mean, I can kind of be with you on that. You know, I've been doing this podcast now about 4 months, and it's a roller coaster ride. Like,
right,
you have really good months, and then the next month you're like, wow, like what in our case, it's like, what did I say? Because I have to think like, hope I didn't offend anybody, or I didn't say this, or I didn't say that, and then the next thing you know, you go up. So, but a year, that's a good run. That's you know, and obviously that you're starting to do these shows where I know I saw the one you did not too long ago in Vegas with, it was for a martial arts, right, or UFC.
So yes, so that, oh man, we're blessed to be in. I don't want to say in a relationship with UFC, but it's a good feeling to be in with them. So what it is UFC used to have gyms out here that were franchised. They got rid of that, and they built two gyms out here, and it's all UFC. Corporate took over. It's strictly UFC owned gyms, and these gyms are amazing. They're probably one of the best gyms I've seen in Vegas. So they do, which is awesome for their members. They do every month the pay-per-views. They do the watch parties at the gym, and so they invite like vendors, like they invited us to come in, and that's been what, last year we've been doing it. And now we're just in a really good relationship with them, and we're also getting in. Now they have 2 gyms. We're getting in with the other UFC gym. So you know, just to kind of be in relationship with UFC it's slow. You know, I call it a relationship, but you know where we're at with them it's good stuff.
I mean, yeah, obviously, any kind of relationship is a relationship. If you're there while they're doing watch parties or whatever, at least you have your foot in the door, and we all know that feet in the door will get you a lot of different places.
Right.
I think that's a big thing for you to do.
And that's how, you know, like how we did with the pro wrestling. Like that's the concept that I'm taking with this is you got to start, you know, you got to train, you got to get that first match, you got to build yourself up on the shows. You know, you're a curtain jerker, then you're a mid carder, and then before you know it, you're main event. So that's the attitude I'm taking, the mentality that I'm taking with this. So
yeah, I think, you know, being a pro wrestler for so long, you see life like that. A lot of things in life are, you know, everything's about promoting, working, you know, getting your foot in the door, talking to the right people, and then presenting the best product you can. And I think that you're right. You know, starting at the bottom is always going to happen. And, you know, you're pushing, and I like to see that. So when you're pushing to be a better company and you want to give great product, it's going to sell itself. That's the best part. That's the best part for you guys, I think, mostly long run. So do you see yourself trying to get in with more local shops to maybe have them feature your coffee, or?
Well, we have some different plans going on, but I am looking into maybe selling the green bean to coffee shops. That's one thing that we're going to look into as well. We are looking into getting a mobile unit for us to, you know. Yeah. So we have a few things going on, planned.
But definitely getting it out in those, like you were saying earlier, like kind of like the mom and pops. I don't want to call them mom and pops.
Yeah, but that's what they are.
Those,
the indie coffee shops.
Yes, that's definitely a goal. Absolutely.
I love the mobile idea because, you know, being in Los Angeles, and I'm sure maybe in Vegas as well, like food trucks here are huge business, huge thing. And mobile coffee, for goodness sakes, you couldn't ask for. It's like crack on wheels. It's
there's the little local place I was telling you guys about earlier. The apartment complex where I'm living currently, they pull up with it. their mobile coffee is literally a trailer that they hook to the back of a truck. Yeah. And they just pull up into the parking lot, and they're here like every Tuesday morning, once a month.
Nice.
And they're there to sell coffee to all the residents that are still around in the morning as they come and go on their way to work and school and stuff. So it's
nice. Yeah.
That's a great way.
One of our goals.
I should try to, there's a place out here in the Inland Empire where I live that they used to have a place that like an actual brick and mortar. But obviously with COVID and all that crazy shit that happened, they end up now they make their own cinnamon rolls and they deliver them. And I think that would be another thing to maybe pass along at least their thing. Cause I'm not sure if they do coffee or not, but they sell these cinnamon rolls that are, and I mean massive. They're just these, like each one's like $5.50, and you have to share them with people, because if you don't, it'll make you sick. But they're so good.
I would order coffee with that for sure.
And since we're about 35 minutes through this show, let's give you a little rub. So obviously, throatpunchbrew.com is their website. It's super cool. They have apparel, mugs, tumblers, and of course, coffee. That's going to be the selling point you want to go, but they do have some cool fucking shirts, I do have to say. And I love that you have sweatshirts for both ladies and men. That's super cool. I love the black matte cup. That's super cool. Yes. Yeah. It just is super neat looking. Yeah. Just super cool. They have a Twitter, like everyone these days. That is Punch Brew, or at Punch Brew. Let's go down the line. Throat_punch_brew is their Instagram, and Facebook is Throat Punch Brew. So everyone, you need to go to all their sites and follow and all that stuff. And of course, get some more coffee, because who doesn't want that?
And sign up, on our website, sign up. And follow us with that. And we do like every other month. We're going to do more now, but we'll do discounts to whoever's following us and stuff too. So
through the newsletter?
That's cool.
Yeah, through the newsletter. So and Gina will blast out like an email saying, all right, so Thursday there's going to be like 20% off, or buy 2 bags, get 1 free. We do stuff like that.
Cool.
So definitely, join the newsletter.
And I just subscribed. So,
awesome.
And if you go to their webpage down at the bottom, obviously it's info@throatpunchbrew.com. That will be their email. And then I am on there where you go down all the way to the bottom. And I love that you take multiple different kinds of payments. That's very good as well.
Absolutely.
So without getting too crazy, because obviously you're under a year in, what's your long-term goal? I mean, and again, not without getting crazy, because obviously everyone's long-term goal is that you want to make coffee for a living. So your long-term goal is probably be big. What's your long-term and your next year goal?
So the mobile unit, that's our main goal right now. Okay. I mean,
it's just to get it out there. We're looking at, we're at a crossroad. Do we compromise what our reputation is how fresh our coffee is? We take pride in that. I mean, that's why it tastes so good. So do we compromise that and put it into businesses like Costco and Sam's Club, Target, and that's a hell of a way to get your product out there. It's probably the best way. Or do we try to go keep grinding away and just grinding away what we're doing? So that's the crossroad that we're at. But the long-term goal is to keep spreading it out there.
Yeah.
We just got to figure out which way we want to go with this.
Yeah. You are, that's a tough crossroad. Because obviously fresh, if that's what you're selling, which is great. And I think that is the big thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to compromise. I kind of
want to keep it that way. Like, I don't want my coffee to be sitting on shelves like other people's coffee.
Exactly.
So I don't see myself going that way, putting it into big stores. So I don't know.
And now that I know more about it, which is really cool, I love that you, like you said, they don't roast your beans and make your coffee until you order it. So when you get that coffee 3 days later in that sealed package, it's ready to go. It's the freshest coffee you can get.
Yes.
That, sometimes I would rather have quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what makes you stand out.
Yeah.
I wish more businesses would do that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's important. And again, we can go back to that pro wrestling thing that sometimes the package can be really good looking and inside or in the ring is shit.
Takes a shit.
Yeah. And it takes a shit all the time.
It's a drizzling shit.
Yeah. And then you got somebody who's that has a decent package, but when they get in the ring is on fire and makes people want to do it. And I think that's
what the people remember though.
Of course. They're going to remember tasting your coffee and then remembering the shit they just had in the morning because the bag didn't come because FedEx didn't bring it until 2:00 in the afternoon. So they're going to be making coffee then and be like, what have I been drinking all fucking day?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So I think that those are the biggest things. For me, I love that it's a female owned business because these days, it's hard enough to make a business work. And I think women in most industries are handcuffed. That's just the bottom line. And it's the truth. So I love that the first thing Brian told me, literally, I was like, hey bro, come on. We'll talk about coffee. He goes, yeah, man, I'm just her husband, dude. It's her business. and I was like, oh, and it was funny because the first thing I was like, all right, cool. Just have her come on. I was like, Brian was my in because I could go to him and talk. But from the beginning, I just thought it was just a great idea to have somebody on to promote a business that obviously you guys love. And I think that that's another big thing. You can tell you love your coffee, but you also love what you're promoting. And that's the biggest thing to me.
You're passionate.
You're fresh roasted. Absolutely.
We feel that we got the total package. So we can, with the, this isn't just like that. A lot of people are just selling like a brown bag and then they put a sticker on it. And then they're selling some shit coffee. Well, I mean, our bag, you have to get this. And once you get this in your hands, you're going to see the quality of this bag alone. And then, even like the coffee, obviously. And you'll see too, like our shirts. We didn't go get some like low quality shirts where like the sleeves are way up here, one over here.
Right.
Like everything we want to do, like even the mugs, like everything we're trying to do quality. We don't want to cheat people out,
No, and that shows that you care about your product. And the long-term goal is that people are going to remember the small things because they can go get shit coffee at the corner from someone who doesn't care about them. And that's what they're going to remember, that you care, that you have fresh coffee and that you give them good products. That's the biggest thing. Because once they taste the coffee, you'll have them hooked anyway. The hook is there. It's knowing that they're getting something that's worth their dime. And like I said, I'm not a coffee buyer or drinker, but I can do math. So your price point is there comparative to pretty much any of the big coffee places that serve you a $5 coffee. It's just it just makes sense. And like I said, I have a kid. And he would waste shit if I didn't have a K-cup. So you know what I mean? Like he would make a full cup of a full pot of coffee. Literally. I mean, he's 19. He's 19 now. He'd make a whole pot. He'd pour it. And then when I came home, I'm like, hey, you going to drink this? Nah, I'm done with it. Like, no, you're not done with it. It's like, come on. So those are the big things. I love that you guys have these different things, that you have different ways of getting it, brewing beans. You're the whole package. And I like that. And for me, coming from a wrestler, when we wrestled each other in our early 20s, I'm proud of you, dude. It's cool. And Gina, I hadn't had a chance to meet you until tonight, but obviously you took that big lug and made him into something really good. So there's something with that as well. So that's pretty cool. Anything else you got to say there, Miss Jenn? Because I know you are always up for coffee questions.
Yeah, no, I mean, you did remind me of something when you were talking about how the drinking their coffee and the, just how they stand behind their coffee. That's important to real coffee drinkers. There's a sense of community among coffee drinkers. If you go to a real coffee house, and I'm not talking about the one that's on every corner. If you go to a real coffee house, there are serious coffee drinkers in there, and they're hanging out and they're talking, and it's usually a really chill, comfortable atmosphere. So the sense of community is really important too. And I think the fact that you guys, you not only stand behind your product, but you stand behind your community too. And I think that also puts you above the rest.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have a great, I'm a fan.
And those ones that are in that coffee community, like they are very hard to go up to and say, try our coffee. Because they have their coffee, they're set on this coffee, they're tunnel visioned on this coffee.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to convert them. And like I said, it speaks for itself. I hand them a cup of coffee straight up, no creamer, like a little shot of it. And they're like, wow, like it's and it's the best, when we can convert them. Then I know that's why I know we have something special.
Yes, absolutely.
I think you're going to find that, the change in expression and the look on their face is again worth the selling point. And again, when you have them hooked, there's nothing better than that. Again, you go back to the wrestling thing. When you get a pop and you have them,
just eating out of your hand.
Yeah. And you can make them jump up and down because you can. That's the best. And I think that I can't wait. I can't wait to actually get it now. So, cause I'm definitely to get a bag for myself. Cause I want to try, I'm going to go with the donut care just cause it just, for one, it's got the greatest name. But also I'm glad that I learned that the lighter the coffee, the more the caffeine.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because that was one of the biggest misconceptions I've had of anything that we've learned here today.
Changed my life with that statement.
Yeah. So I think Jen's going to be shaking at the keyboard for work, but she'll be happy.
Hey, I might get something done.
Yeah. Well, any last words from you guys? Like anything you want to get over, or I mean, obviously we'll give them all the socials, but what about just you guys in general?
No, I think we have. So if there's questions or if we're missing something, like we'll message us, talk to us.
Yeah.
We're open.
We'll respond.
Yeah, we want to be upfront with everybody. We feel we have like everything covered, like Colombia and Brazil. We have all the different coffees, all the different roasts, and everything. So, but if we're missing something, or if we're always wanting to improve. So we're open, man. We're open to improvement always.
That's always good to hear, because I think a company that listens to their consumer,
absolutely,
we wouldn't be here without a consumer.
Yeah.
So, correct.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Jenn, who's going to be doing a podcast for her company, an company one, her whole job is literally dealing with the consumer side and the service side. So I think that is a big deal. And she works for a very large company that makes refrigerators and such, and they care about their clientele. Yes.
Nice.
So I think that is a big deal to hear. And I'm really glad we had a chance to sit down and talk coffee, because I've learned a lot. And I want everyone who listens to our podcast here to give this a try and get a bag of coffee, because for $22, it might change your life. Mostly if you're a morning person.
Yeah.
I think it's changed a lot. Again, let's go over your socials, because, we all live in that world. throatpunchbrew.com is the website. You can buy all their coffee mugs, apparel, all their tumblers at that one. Then Twitter is @punchbrew. Their Instagram is throat_punch_brew. And of course, Facebook is at Throat Punch Brew. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And
thank you, Jen.
We'll have you back. Jen, also thank you for being the guest host today because I needed it.
Very welcome.
I can talk, but not that much. And, we'll give you all the stuff on ours, and you guys, it's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you later on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.